doing 4.1, number 57, and we are asked to find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum values of f on the given interval. So here's our question. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the derivative of it. So I used chain rule, and this is what I got for the derivative of this. And then just a note, this is a little bit tricky, for 2 cosine 2t, we have to use a double angle formula for cosine 2t here, so that's 2 cosine 2t equals 2 times 1 minus 2 sine squared t. That's just a note. So now we're just going to plug that in, so f prime of t equals 2, the same thing here, and then instead of writing 2 cosine 2t, we're going to write this here, so 2 times the parentheses 1 minus 2 sine squared t. Okay, and then after that, I just basically rearranged it. So now we have f prime of t equals negative 4 sine squared t minus 2 sine t plus 2. So now we're going to set the derivative equal to 0. So basically we set f prime of t equal to 0. So thus we're setting this whole thing equal to 0. And we do that to find the critical numbers. So I set it equal to 0. I eventually get this, and this is factorable, which eventually gives us this. So I set this equal to 0 and this equal to 0. When I set this equal to 0, I get t equals pi over 6. And when I set this equal to 0, I get negative 1. However, negative 1 is not in our given interval, so we can just disregard that critical number. So now we're going to plug in t equals pi over 6, which we just found right here. For our critical number, we're going to plug that in. And we're also going to plug in the endpoints which are given, which is 0, pi over 2. We're plug that in, and the highest number that's generated is going to be your absolute max, which it asks for, and the lowest is going to be the min. So that's exactly what I did. I plugged in 0, which is on the interval, into the function that was given. I plugged in pi over 6, which was the critical number that we found, and I plugged in pi over 2, which is the end of our interval that was given. And eventually, I found out that pi over 6 was the max, and then pi over 2 was the min, because that's the biggest number, that's the smallest number. There you go.